A Song for Silas by Laurie Wick. Chapter 33. God was indeed taking care of Silas. Although he could not yet think of Amy without feeling pain, he felt especially close to God at this time, as though his heavenly Father was giving him special comfort. In no way did building a house take away the yearning for a wife, but it did serve to keep Silas's mind so occupied that the summer was slipping by and he was hardly aware of the passing of time. The house materials had arrived, and you would have thought it was Christmas, as Luke and Silas inspected the goods. Silas had fallen under the spell of a house he'd spotted in a mail-order catalogue. The advertisement had described the house of his dreams with 2 stories and a total of 4 bedrooms. One of the bedrooms was on the first floor along the front parlour, sitting room, dining room, and a kitchen with a large pantry. The dining room even had a built-in china cabinet. Silas had always admired the one built into the dining room of his grandparents' home, the house now owned by Mark and Suzanne. The second story sported 3 large bedrooms, all with spacious built-in closets, and at the top of the stairs was a huge linen closet. There were special touches throughout the house, such as interior doors of soft pine in 5-panel styling. Silas's grin nearly split his face as he stood in the spot where he would build. Christine and Josh had joined him and Luke out beneath the oaks. Silas held his nephew in his arms and spoke. "Right here, Josh. This is where I'll build my home, in the lee of these oaks." Christine felt tears sting her eyes upon hearing the hopeful excitement in his voice. "Please, God," she prayed, "make it special for Silas." The summer of 1889 was wonderful for crops, with just the right amount of rain and plenty of sunshine. The sunshine brought long hours of back-breaking work to someone building a house. On the other hand, the rain taught patience the hard way. Silas paced on the front porch one rainy afternoon and stared out at the downpour. He knew it wouldn't last long, but he felt a restlessness to be busy. Oh, there were things to be done in the barn. Raising horses was a full-time job, but Silas wanted to build. It occurred to him as he paced that God had sent the rain, and it was wrong of him to bemoan the fact. Pausing from his restless walking, he wondered whether Grant's crops were getting plenty of rain and sunshine. Silas had found himself riding toward Mac's fields nearly every week, as if he could gauge Grant's progress by keeping tabs on his brother-in-law's crops. It didn't rain all the time, and Silas worked hard in hopes of having the house complete by harvest time. It felt good to walk through the house, even unfinished, and to imagine seeing it with furniture and homey touches. Silas stood in the upstairs one day and looked at the 3 sizable rooms. This is a lot of space for one man. What if I never have a wife, let alone kids? Silas's mind could not stay the question. Just yesterday, Christine, Julia, and Sue were talking about their pregnancies. He wondered if he'd ever see his wife grow with his child. God led you to build this house, Silas told himself, and you're standing here, wallowing in your own pity. Maybe you won't have a wife and kids, but that doesn't mean you won't be used of God. Maybe he will ask you to fill these rooms with orphans. Silas smiled at the thought and went back to work. As it was, the house was not done when Mac started to bring in his crops. Luke had known all along what Silas's plans were for the fall, and so it came as no surprise to Luke when Silas told him he'd be writing a letter and leaving for Neilsville in a week.